As far as I'm aware, most of artificial intelligence can only deal with what's being put in. So Chat GPT can look at every website in a millisecond and write a proposal or whatever, an answer. But as yet, the lateral thinking, the disruptive idea, that's so weird, it might just work. The of course, why not? Moment, the aha moment, I think so far is uniquely human. The animal, herds, tribes, flocks. There are so many metaphors in nature where the group is stronger than the individual. And so far, I don't know. I mean, robots are, millions presumably of microchips working together, but I don't know if they work better when they go, hey, I like you. Hey, I know we're on the same team. Hey, I'm better at this than you. As yet, I'm not quite sure where the emotional life of the robot is. I always ask my clients, who's eating your lunch? I.e., who are your rivals? And they're not always in the same sector. For example, I come from the world of theatre, and our rivals are Deliveroo and Netflix. Why would I go out to see comedy or theatre or even the cinema when I can stay home? And so it's not always the other comedy clubs that are the Comedy Store's rival. It's actually the whole sense of why should I go out? So eating your lunch. Now, AI is great. I use it all the time. I mean, I don't think predictive texting is AI. Filling in my calendar is AI. What have you done before? Let's do a bit of that. It's obviously going to save us time in some areas, but this general sense of what will robots and all or artificial intelligence be able to do that we can't? And I think there's still plenty at the moment. I sat next to somebody once at a charity dinner and explained about improv is about creativity and it's about rapport. And he said, thank goodness you're in the right job, because he used to run a software firm. And he said, pretty much a lot of stuff can be done through AI. And why wouldn't we? Spreadsheets, even now essays and proposals. But we still haven't yet, as far as I'm aware, got a robot that knows how to be properly funny, how to be warm, how to be engaging, how to be agile and move off the script, and also perhaps to not talk when necessary, how to ask the right questions. And the improv thing is all based on listening. What is it she has said? Treat what he said as an offer. And that's why I think this has plenty of power. And certainly that's what I've learned from all the people who've come through my workshops over the last nearly quarter of a century. VUCA. The world is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And every improv scene has all of that. At any moment you think it's going to go that way, it might go that way. In hindsight, you can think, oh, I can see that. And sometimes we're bold enough at the beginning bit, it doesn't work so well, but something else emerges. So once people kind of accept that you'd be foolish to imagine the world is predictable and that there aren't uncertain moments, then you begin to think, oh, right, so my job is harder and yet simpler. It's just to keep people afloat, to keep people within a guide rail such that they may find new things, but also they kind of know what they got to deliver by Friday. And I think the job of a leader is almost to find out what each individual feels comfortable with, and the servant leader and all that. And I was at Google the other day, we were talking about this, and this guy said, yeah, actually, there are times when some of my team say to me, just tell us what to do. And I can see that when coaching people with improv, being a parent, just sometimes this is what you got to do. Let's save time. This is the way. Do it. Good, fine. And there are times when you've got to think about grow models and coach, and you set the agenda, and we can co-create something which you then run. And that's wonderfully enabling for some and slightly scary for others. And so that's why I think what I'm offering, or what improv is offering, is not that radical at all. It just makes sense, which is why would you stick to a script when the world is changing? Again, the research on brainstorms says that we tend to have the loudest voice heard. Nothing gets actually decided on. The quieter person thinks this isn't for me. But this is where improv comes in, because we say in improv, there's only one story. We're all contributing to the same story. So actually, it's not this idea, that. And Pixar Pictures make those wonderful movies. I call it yes and, they call it plussing. You can't critique somebody else's idea unless you have a constructive way of moving it forward. So you accept the offer and move it forward. So we've only got one story in the meeting, if you like. It's not somebody saying, I've got a crazy idea. Forget what you said. What about chickens? And the facilitator, yeah, thank you, Nigel. That's great. Now, chickens is good. Good, well done. And somebody's thinking, can we not do chickens? What about the idea that got lost a minute ago? And that's where reincorporation can come back. So it has to be well facilitated. And again, we're not particularly good at teaching facilitators and leaders to curate that kind of environment where people do feel involved, do feel supported, and the right voices are heard at the right time. Basically, you can do this from now. Listen without a filter. When you hear somebody say something, think that's an offer. Where could that go? Ooh. For a moment, I'll just suspend what I'm thinking and say, tell me more about that. And treat what people say as a gift to enhance your life, shall I say. In improv, we say, how is your character altered? What does she learn in that scene? And if you thought of every conversation as a time to learn about that person, about life, even about yourself. So this just a simple idea of, if I was yes-anding or plussing, what would it look like? We're very easily trapped by saying, building on that, but actually do build on it. I'm going to the shops. The shop, tell me more about the shop. I'm going to get some cheese. Cheese, we can have a cheese sandwich. Just consciously think, can I just use one word they've given me and lob it back to them that helps them build the story?